Welcome back to Terror by the Bay. I'm David. Okay, news came out yesterday about the U.S. Treasury Department imposing sanctions on entities in Iran associated with their Revolutionary Guard and with Russia, a group associated with the Russian Military Intelligence Agency, GRU, stating that they attempted to interfere in the 2024 U.S. election with the aim to stoke socio-political tensions and influence the U.S. electorate during the 2024 election. Now, this is nothing new. Russia did this back in 2016. How do we know that? Because we had the Mueller report that went into great details about all the things that the Russians did to influence the 2016 election. Troll farms, putting up fake ads on Facebook, etc., etc., etc. Then you had Cambridge Analytica and other data mining groups that were working to get Donald Trump elected. Russia, China, Iran, I believe North Korea also attempted to interfere with the 2020 election, and they attempted to interfere with the 2024 election. Now, before we get too high and mighty on our horses, I think it would be reasonable to assume that the U.S. probably interferes with all of their elections to some degree. I mean, how much can you interfere in a Russian election when it's already rigged for Putin to win? You know, you don't need to interfere that much because it won't do any good. So you would stoke, the U.S. probably focuses more on stoking discontent with the current government. Not that Putin's not doing a good enough job all on his own, but you can imagine the U.S. would take the opportunity to fan the flames a little bit there. Folks are getting a little bit excited about this because this is a result of the executive order that requires that the Director of National Intelligence look into any type of election interference and provide a report to the President of the United States. And that has to happen within 45 days of the election. And then the Treasury Department, amongst others, starts looking at sanctions that they're going to levy. Now, does it end here? We don't know. This could be just the opening salvo. Watching some folks on TikTok and not trying to steal their ideas, but no, their ideas make sense. You can't dump it all on the American public all at once. Frankly, we're not that sophisticated, intelligent, and critical thinking to be able to handle all that information all at one time. We would get overwhelmed and then look for somebody to explain it to us. And by that time point, Donald Trump would probably, drive naked on his golf cart down Fifth Avenue shooting people, and then we wouldn't be talking about the election interference anymore. So I could... No, I'm sorry, that's not a visual anybody wants to see. So you've got to let something like this start working its way through the news cycle to get onto the morning news shows. Now, will Fox News cover it? Potentially. They might actually cover it. I doubt they would, because they probably can sniff out that it's going to lead to problems for Donald Trump, and he's their meal ticket, and they're not going to want to cross him. That being said, maybe I should take a look at Fox News, see if they even mentioned it. Guess what? All right, welcome back. Yeah, too bad. I already did a spread. I thought I hit unpause. Okay. I've been ranting for the last 10 minutes. I'll have to rethrow on it. Nothing on the Fox News page. Not a damn thing about it. Which tells me that Fox feels like this has legs. If it was a one-off, Fox would cover the story. They're Iran hawks. They're Russia hawks to some degree. If these countries are interfering with their election, they'll let their viewers know it. But hey, Trump's in the clear, so we don't have to worry about it. but they're not talking about it. I went through their webpage, through I did a Google search. Nothing came up except for back in September when we first found out about the Iranian email hacking into Trump's campaign over J.D. Vance. Remember that? But nothing current. They mentioned nothing. And I went through their webpage looking at elections and U.S. politics. Not a mention of it. And when I threw on this last time, I got the vibe that this was the opening salvo, and they're going to start talking about the money. But let me throw the cards again and see what the government's got going on with this case here, and I'll try and connect it. Sorry about that. I forgot. I thought I had unpaused this. Foundation of the reading, Nine of Wands. We're not done. There's more coming. And this was my outcome in the previous one, the Judgment card. Yeah, get ready to hear more about this case. And this was my overarching energy card, Knight of Cups. There, the government is going to be releasing more information about the outside election interference. And they're going to make sure everybody hears about this. This thing's not over. This is just beginning. Again, if it was over, Fox News would cover it. Fox News doesn't want to cover this because they know that their hands are going to be dirty, or I should say, their viewers aren't going to like what they hear. And they don't want to lose their viewers. What I was getting before was there was going to be a continual barrage of information. They're going to keep this thing in the news cycle. And I think that's the thing. They've got to reach out to people and let them know what's going on. No, we are Americans first. In the past, you got the Knight of Swords. The implication was that this investigation has been going on for 4 years, but after the election, I think they had to scramble. All hands on deck, 16-hour days. Let's go. This is important. This is not a reckless release. This is the culmination of people busting their butts for the last 45 plus days. So, as frustrated as we've been in the anger, the anguish, everything that we've got going on, and the fact that we haven't heard anything, there have been people who have been working their tails off to get this information out. Current situation is the Four of Cups. They're not going to give it to us all at once. We would drown in it. In the previous read, I had the Ace of Cups crossed by the King of Swords. And I had the Six of Swords in the past, showing there was the past election interference. And then the Eight of Pentacles showing the money trail. But what I was mentioning in that particular one, as I do fancy hand things here, is, oh, by the way, just as a segue, when I was looking at politics on Fox News, they did not cover this story. You know what they did cover? That Elon Musk and Donald Trump did the YMCA dance at Mar-a-Lago for New Year's Eve. Hard-hitting journalism at Fox News. I mean, fine, you want to cover that? Great. Where's this information? Just saying. Four of Cups. This is going to be this is the first sip. You know, if there's a saying, when you're going to eat elephant, you have to eat it one bite at a time. If you're going to drink the gallon of scotch, they're going to give it to you in shot glasses. Or you're not going to drink the whole bottle of wine just chugging it out of there. You've got to give it in portions so that people have time to digest it. Overarching energy is the High Priestess. The government's got the goods. And, you know, with these pillars, they're trying to bring both sides, both political parties, to remind folks that we are Americans first. We have spy agencies. We've got allies that have been helping us. We're sitting on a trove of information, and we haven't heard the last of it. It's coming. It's going to come in dribs and drabs, just so that people can digest it. The lesson to be learned is the Empress. I did have the Eight of Cups, or the Eight of Cups, the Seven of Cups in this position, the election integrity. This one was the 8 of coins, which was, following the money. The lesson to be learned is the Empress, sometimes used to represent Mother Russia. This is sitting on. This is for this. Basically, this is for our own good. We've got to come together as a country, and I don't know. I have a hard time seeing how that's going to happen. I really do. We're so divided, and I don't know what it's going to take to get the country united. I mean, you've got a cult following Donald Trump that probably represents about 15% or 1 in 6 to 17% of the population. How do you bring the rest of the folks together? This was my underlying card in the last reading too. 8 of Swords. We can be victims of this, or we can untie ourselves. This is also about people's beliefs. Again, for those who do not want to believe there's election interference, they just don't want to believe it, they can continue not to believe it. This is the current MAGA crowd and the folks that support Trump. They want to be the victims all the time. Poor me. It's kind of like playing house and they always want to be the baby. Gag, gag, goo, goo. They don't want any of the responsibility. They want everybody to wait on them hand and foot and change their dirty diaper. They always want to be the victim. Always want to be the oppressor. And, that's kind of have to be the challenge of getting this message out, is that some folks are not going to want to hear it. You're going to steal our election again, aren't you? My vote doesn't matter. It's like, your guy cheated. Does that matter to you? You should be, instead of being mad that your election got stolen, why aren't you mad at the guy who wrote the software that adjusted the numbers so that you thought your guy won and got your expectations up real high, when you should have been dealing with this for the last month and a half, like the rest of us who've been thinking that our candidate lost when they actually won? What's worse, I guess, is where I would go with it. What's worse? Being told your guy won and then 2 months later finding out that he cheated and he actually lost, or thinking that your person won, you were told your person was lost, and then for the next 2 months you've been dealing with the emotional downside of that, and then find out, oh no, they won all along, the other person cheated. Who should be more outraged? Maybe both should be. They should be equally outraged, right? And equally outraged at the same people responsible for the false results being presented. All right, what's next for the I had the Justice card and the Empress here. What's next? And I guess maybe the Empress is just that. In the Justice card, if you throw them together, it's what's best for the Americans. What's next? With that 5 of coins, people are going to feel left out. There's going to be some hard feelings about this. There's going to be some real hard feelings, but there's no way around it. What's next? What can we expect next? This was going to be my other question. Page of Cups. Let's start with Maga. He's trying to convince Maga that things aren't the way they are. The election was stolen. Maga and elections being stolen, and who the real winner is. Oh, good luck with that, man. Good luck with that. With the Queen of Swords. Yeah, good luck with that. Deal with it. They got the big feelings. The world's going to come crashing down. As this information gets released, things are going to come crashing down on them. Good Lord. Could I pick all my... Literally, could I pick all of my Donald Trump cards and put them on the table in one go? This is for MAGA about the election being stolen. It's going to come as this story comes out. It's going to blow their mind, blow their time. Maybe even Trump will finally have his medical event that we've been reading on forever and a day. it's going to send things crashing down. It's about the corruption and the cheating that's happened. And for my brother-in-law, sorry, I keep segueing here. My brother-in-law plays golf. And he told me years ago, decades ago, I can tell you everything I need to know about a person by how they play golf. In other words, if they cheat at golf, you can't trust them for anything, because golf is a game of you keep your own score and you track the rules, and you have to be honest with yourself and honest with the folks around you, because they can't always monitor you. It's really a test of your integrity over a game where you're hitting a small ball with clubs and trying to get it into a hole. Donald Trump cheats at golf. Donald Trump cheats at golf and has golf tournaments where even if he loses, he's declared the winner. What more do you need to know? If he's going to cheat at golf, at his own tournament, at his own club, what do you think would happen with an election? You think he's going to suddenly not cheat? That's all he knows how to do. Okay, what's next? Get ready. Get ready for more information. There's going to be more stuff coming out on this, and this is going to be hard. In some ways, it's going to be really hard on MAGA and the Trump supporters to see what's all coming out here. This is going to be something they never asked for. And secretly, deep down inside, they will never admit this, but secretly they will have wished he had lost, instead of having to go through this revelation, this revealing of what's going on. Outcome's going to be the heartbreak, the betrayal, and I think it's going to be all three branches of government. This is not going to be something that it'll affect the presidency. Don't get me wrong, and that's going to be a big part of it. But I think it's going to affect more than that. Why would you just cheat on the presidency, right? Why not cheat all the way across the board? Why not cheat with the senators? Why not cheat with the House members? What good is it to get your guy elected president if he doesn't have Congress to back him up and get his awful agenda through? All right. Real high-level spiritual lesson from this, and we'll wrap up this reading. For Carter, what's going to be the high-level spiritual lesson for this? So, is this the opening salvo? Yeah. They've got to give it to us in measured amounts so that we can stomach it. And not only us, I think we have the power to guzzle this information, but I think others who are less politically active need more time, and there's going to be people that just don't want to drink their medicine. They are going to spit it out. And they were going to want to be victims and everything like that. But unfortunately, you need them on board with this. What's next? For Carter. Delays. What was up is upside down. Everything's upside down over here. It's going to take strong action. There's going to be delays, but you've got to work through this. This is the biggest opportunity we have. We're not done yet. It's going to take a while. This is not something that's going to be fixed overnight. It's going to take months. It's going to have to go through the court systems. It's going to have to go to the Supreme Court, a Supreme Court that is heavily leaning towards Donald Trump. And, but they're also justices. They have to rule on evidence. But the lower courts are going to have to rule on the evidence. The Supreme Court has to rule on the Constitution. Will this go to the Supreme Court? Oh, absolutely it's going to go. They'll figure out a way to get it up there. But they may not be able to do anything with it. They'll want to pee on it for sure. There's going to be delays, but this is something, just like, the folks that were working 16-hour days, this is going to go through the court system at light speed. Now, what's light speed in this country? 3 months? 6 months? It's going to be like Watergate. It's going to go through the court system quickly, but quickly is a relative term because you have to set court cases. You've got to get it on the docket. It'll always get the priority. This is going to be a priority thing. You're going to see about as fast as the court systems can handle this once the court challenges happen. It's not going to be fixed overnight. There's going to be a lot of battles. Bring your best game with it. And there's a lot of stuff we still don't know that's going on with this. But it will be revealed. The moon card is the sun being eclipsed by the moon, the mystery. But it will come out. And there's going to be a lot of anxiety in the collective as this goes. But this is going to go quickly, relatively speaking. Spiritual lesson on that one. It's going to be patience, but have faith. Have faith that this is going to work out in everybody's best interest, however that looks. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I do appreciate it. This reading is for entertainment purposes only, but I do hope you find it insightful, and I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.